So a quick recap of your tools and materials, and then we'll get on to starting some seeds. So you want to make sure you can provide heat from below, either with a heat mat or a radiator or some other creative solution. You want to make sure you have a strong, broad spectrum or balanced spectrum light that you can kind of adjust the height of in relation to your seed medium. You need some, and both the heat and the light are really easy to control on a timer. And you typically want to give them at least 12 hours of heat and light per day. You can use various containers to start your seeds. Just make sure they have good drainage holes. Be sure to label your seeds. That will just limit the mysteries involved. You want to be able to control the humidity of the environment while the seeds are germinating, and then also, increase the humidity while they're germinating, and release it once they are up. And then you want to have a good seed starting mix. And a challenge for all of us is to find a peat-free one, and then a spray bottle so that you can carefully control the moisture of the seed environment without overwatering. So now let's start some seeds. So now we're going to start some of the Black King pansies and Johnny jump ups. And I read ahead and found that the planting depth should be around 1/4 inch, or as Baker Creek says, surface sow or just barely cover. Since this one says 1/4 inch, I'm going to go with coverage. We'll see what that looks like. So the first thing is to get some of your soil out, and you can kind of see that this is pretty dry right now. It's very, it just flakes apart. So one helpful step is to actually pre-moisten the soil so that you're not having to water it a lot after you put the seeds in, because that might displace the seeds and make them too deep or float to the top. So with that one, I actually had gotten it too wet, so then I just added some more dry soil. But this is pretty good. So now it like clumps together, but it's not like dripping. So that's good. Then you kind of want to pat it down. Pat it down. So our Black King, gonna write a label. Put the date, always put the date. And our Johnny jump ups. So they're pretty small. And then just kind of want to sprinkle them around. And then I'll sprinkle a little bit on top, just to cover. Press it down. And then give the mist. We'll try this guy. Which, since it's the same kind of seed, it should be pretty much the same size. The same kind of flower. Yep, they look the same. And that's it. So we just put into practice some of the seed packet reading and use some of our tools and supplies there to start these pansies. I'm going to make sure you have your container with drainage holes. Fill it with moistened seed starting mix. Cover as per the info on the back of the seed pack. And make sure to keep them labeled. And then I'm going to take these home, put them in a tray with a humidity dome under a light over a heat mat, and plug those into a timer and sit back and see what happens in 10 to 20 days. So now you have all this great information, a little bit more about the seeds that we will be providing and timing and how we're going to get them to you and things like that. So last spring we established kind of an online ordering system for seeds and plants, and so we'll probably at least start out with doing that again this year. And what we'll do with that is try to provide kind of time appropriate seeds. So you're not going to be able to pick from all of our seeds in February. We'll kind of roll them out little by little based on what can be started early. But we'll also put all of that information in a spreadsheet that we'll have up on the Grave Gardener website. And I'm always looking for ways of improving that communication, of trying to make sure that you know when you're looking at this list of seeds, if you are able to start them indoors ahead of time, which are the ones that like those conditions. Or conversely, if you're not able or interested in doing that, which seeds should you wait for that like to be sown directly. So we'll try to make sure that that is kind of clear up front when you're picking the seeds before you have access to the packets and all the information that's on the packets. And also, we're talking all about seeds here, but we also start a lot of these same seeds in the pen greenhouse. So we will also have plant starts ready beginning in April of a lot of the same things that we're offering seeds of. So don't worry if seed starting isn't something you want to try or can try. There will also be lots of plant material available and seeds for later in the season that you can put directly into your grape garden.